As usual, there is an extra complication. On the previous 2 or 3 episodes, I think, my mic gain was set very low. It was set down at 52 out of 100 on an arbitrary scale. What that does is it makes it so that there's fewer bits of dynamic range used to encode the dynamic range of whatever I was saying. So things may seem to have slightly more quantization noise. You may not even notice, but ideally you want your mic gain at such a point that you tend to go all the way to max, but no more than max, which is kind of hard considering someone like me has just to suddenly go really soft and then really loud and whatever. But I was heading to the break room with Takeshi when I heard Tsugumi and Sara's intense voices. So Tsugumi revealed very early that her skin was sensitive, way earlier than the original game, and Sara apparently has something dangerous in her bag that Tsugumi knows about, and we don't know why Tsugumi knows that. Maybe Tsugumi looked through her bag. Even though Tsugumi just said that investigating people is a bad habit, which I guess she was making a sort of self-deprecating joke. We presume, based on the intro, that that's a gun. But I don't know if they're going to show that yet. We'll see. There's a CG in the original of Sara clutching the pendant, and then Tsugumi standing, and she's like crying, and Tsugumi is standing over her. It's a full body of Tsugumi, but Tsugumi is wearing her old outfit, the outfit that she wore on both sides of the game in the original game. So to reuse that, they'd have to redraw it, and I forgot if if we saw a redrawn version or not in the intro. We might have.
何事だ
So I'm not sure if the gun CG is going to replace that one, or there's going to be more CGs. What's going on? Something like, what's happening? K-Tall kind of thing. Takeshi's eyes suddenly changed color, and he started running toward the source of the commotion. Yes, he would be more worried than most people about this. Mayo. You and I hurried after Takeshi. Of course, I wouldn't be too worried about something like this, but then I'm American, and I guess we fight and argue more, but whatever.
おい、二人ともどうしたんだよ
Hey, you two people, what is wrong?
それはこっちが聞きたいわね。
Maybe they won't use a CG here. Okay. I'm punching into Google Translate. It's probably like, that's what I want to know. But that idiom in Japanese translates more literally to, that's what I would like to hear. If we translate it idiomatically, we would say that's what I'd like to know. Which, I mean, like in the immediate sense, Sara said that she thought that Tsugumi caused the, I guess, methane explosion. That being said, Tsugumi wouldn't know why Sara would be looking for a person to blame for the methane explosion, and why, basically. I mean, if she were trying to look for a person to blame, then I guess she would be the person to blame, but why would she be looking for a person to blame? Tsugumi muttered to herself with a sigh. After that, I quickly glared at I quickly or something glared at, she probably glared at Takeshi.
聞きたいって、それこそなんだよ。意味わかんねえこと言うなよ。
What do you mean, what do you want to hear? Don't say things that I don't understand.
どうしたのマヨ。
I don't really, it's like, what's wrong, Mayo? But I never follow that rule. I will go over your head with reckless abandon. This was a private thing between me and Tsugumi. We're going to have to finish this later, someplace where we can hide from you guys better. Sarah still looked excited. Or high tension. She was glaring straight at Tsugumi. Tsugumi said nothing and turned to leave. The kid says, Tsugumi. Eh? And Tsugumi just teleports out of existence. Then Tsugumi's face contorted sadly, or that's what I thought. Curious about Tsugumi's expression, I followed her. Okay, this is very much like the original. Does he follow after her? Yeah. I'm trying to remember if he follows after her and after the first confrontation between Sarah and Tsugumi. I know he follows after her in the Koko route when they confront Tsugumi in the security office. It's a little different. That was not as analogous just a scene. It happens at some point. It's analogous to something in the original, although things may not line up exactly. Things may not be one-to-one, is what I'm trying to say. Hey, wait. She just glanced at me and doesn't slow down. Wait! This sounds like one of those things where the dog doesn't realize what to do once it actually catches the car, but we'll see if he knows what to do. As Tsugumi is being followed, she probably has to abort her plan as to where exactly she was trying to go, but when I caught up with her, I grabbed her arm and tried to stop her. This was going to get another don't touch me. But she got rid of that.
触らないでって言ったでしょ
Didn't I tell you not to touch me? Sorry. Tsugumi started walking as if nothing had happened. Or started walking as if nothing had happened. Even so, I chased after her. And then you didn't say anything after, right? I pursued her without asking, basically. As she continued to walk, I spoke to her from beside her, peering into her face. Why did you fight with Sarah?
あなたには関係のないことよ
It has nothing to do with you. Oh yeah, Tsugumi's like, I don't know what to say. He's going to say it has nothing to do with you, even though it has everything to do with him. Maybe not everything, a lot to do with him. Smoke screen phrases. I know someone who's good at those. Or bad at them. Depends on how you think of it. Still facing forward, Tsugumi answered with a pained look.
他人のことにいちいち首を突っ込まないで
I don't get involved with other people's affairs. Which might be slightly self-deprecating. I don't know. So I involve myself in everybody's affairs in weird, sneaky ways. It's probably like sarcasm, right? It's irrelevant? Is that all? I think she was surprised to hear that. It certainly has nothing to do with me. Or so he thinks. I don't have the right to get involved in other people's private lives. But
いえ、やっぱり関係あるかもしれないか。
that's where she says, oh, maybe it does have something to do with you, right? From the original. Man, it might have something to do with you after all. They didn't rewrite that line. Yeah. Yeah, okay, so yes, they this is after the first confrontation between Tsugumi and Sara. This is analogous to the original conversation because I do remember that happening where it's like that has nothing to do with you, and she goes, "Oh, maybe it does have something to do with you." Tsugumi shika walked away. It's supposed to be like an onomatopoeia, even though I don't know if shika would really give you the idea. I stood there dumbfounded for a moment, but quickly pulled myself together and chased after her some more. Wait, Tsugumi. No matter how much I called out to Tsugumi, she wouldn't respond. Eventually, I chased after her. We have to wind up here, right? I come to a park-like plaza. I guess we had to wind. You always wind. In the original game, you always wind up in the jellyfish gondola. That's where she always goes. Not necessarily because there's a reason for her to do that. It's just like a motif, right? It's one of those. The story isn't always just a story, right? Sometimes it's literatured up in some silly ways. But they don't have that. They restructured the game such that that wouldn't become available until later, and so they had to do this. Oh. At that point, Tsugumi finally stopped. So she could throw me in the pool. And then she, I believe, sat down on a bench and looked at the flowers planted there. I sat down next to Tsugumi. Hey. Did I say jellyfish gondola earlier? I sure meant jellyfish gondola. If I accidentally said the carousel delphine or something, I was wrong. She seemed to be completely ignoring me. Anyway, Tsugumi would always go to the jellyfish gondola. If you had a conversation with Tsugumi, it would occur there. As a motif. Then you don't have to answer, just listen. It's like, I want to ask you why you don't trust us. They don't ask you to trust us anymore. But please, I don't want you to fight. This is the situation we're in, so we have to help each other. It's like, oh, that sounded very Takeshi-like. Then Tsugumi turned her face to me.
格式なことね。
You are quite knowledgeable. Oh no. It's funny because like those first kanji, the way she pronounced them kind of sounded like Takeshi. I don't know if there's a pun to be had there or something. Don't make fun of me.
率直な感想を言ったまでよ。
I'm just being honest with you. Or maybe is it like, is that supposed to be sarcasm or something? Or you're not knowledgeable? However, the fact that she responded means the situation has improved somewhat. I kept asking her questions. Wonder why the heavy kanji's in that. Asking her heavies. Why do we look like we're enemies in your eyes? Or why do you look like we're enemies in your eyes? One or the other.
言ったでしょ。信用できないからよ。
I told you, didn't I? Because I can't trust you.
明らかにあなたたちの行動は尋常じゃない。
Clearly, your actions are abnormal.
自分の意思でそうやっているのかどうかは別としてね。
Whether or not you're doing it of your own free will is another matter. I don't really get it. How exactly are my actions, although it's like implied, so we have to throw an it in there in English translation. What exactly is it not normal? How exactly is it not normal? Which I think I'd probably translate it as how exactly. I'd probably like throw the antecedent in there. I'd probably say how exactly are my actions not normal? Because that's just more natural in English.
あの時と同じことをしようとしてるじゃないの。
Unless you wanted to characterize the kid as more terse. So you couldn't add those extra words. You're trying to do the same thing you did back then. But it wasn't him, though. I guess maybe it's a stuck-in pronoun. You're trying to do the same thing they did back then. Kind of early to reveal that, though. That's what I could say about a lot of things in this game. Pretty early to reveal that. Same thing as back then.
あなたが本当に記憶喪失なら知らないかもしれないけど。
If you really do have amnesia, you might not know. But
今回の事故だってきっとまた何か裏があるに決まっているわ。
I'm sure there's more to this incident than meets the eye. I'm sure there's some ulterior motive behind this accident. Also. Might be in the key to. It's doing the also. There's no mo suffix here. Well, I don't know if there was an ulterior motive behind the first accident. That's the funny thing. Like, as far as I know, the first accident, no one caused the deep blue to get out. It just did. It happened to get out at that time. Right? There was more to the accident that met the eye. There was more like going on than the characters originally knew. But it didn't mean that someone intentionally caused the accident. It's just that the cause was more several steps before. Right? There's other stuff going on. So I don't know how it's also. So it translates it means it might be purpose, right? Oh, it's more like that means Tsugumi's experienced this before or something like that. Does that mean you've experienced something similar in the past, Tsugumi? Or Tsugumi, does that mean that Tsugumi has experienced something similar in the past? I'm not telling you nothing. Tsugumi glared at me. I took it as affirmation. So if the answer was no, you would have just said no. So the answer can't be no. In that case, if that's the case, then my premonitions could be not actually premonitions, right? If it's all the same. Then Tsugumi, you can predict things too, correct?
え
Huh? Foresight. No, but the feeling isn't so much that I predicted the future. Fake memories?
わかりやすく言えば、デジャブってことよ。
Oh, okay. They're gonna make this, to put it simply, deja vu. Well, okay. So this conversation has to happen regardless of which character you or Sara's route you pick. Interesting. So you do end up going back from the pipe room where Tsugumi's fixing it at the morning of day 3 to the control room, regardless. You don't go to the corner instead or something. I wonder, which makes you wonder how exactly they formulated the Sara route, but I'll find out when I do the Sara route.
単なる記憶の再生エラーってとこ。人間が出来事を記憶するときって、見たまま全てを丸ごと記憶するわけじゃないの。
I mean, this conversation is different if you do the Sara route. It's just a memory regeneration error when humans remember events they don't remember every time just by looking at it. When humans remember events, they don't remember everything.
いろんな要素ごとに分類されて、別々のフォルダーに保管されているの。思い出すときって、これらの情報をかき集めて再構築してるわけ。
It's classified by various elements and stored in different folders. When you remember, you collect and reconstruct these pieces of information.
思い出し、再構築してるときに再生ミスが起きたり、記憶違いが発生するってわけよ。
When you're remembering and reconstructing, you make a regenerative error or you make a mistake in your memory. Does that mean I've experienced something similar in the past?
まあ、そう考えるのが妥当よね。
It's reasonable to think of it that way. That's a stretch. That stretches the language so much. What the hey? Knew the future or the same thing happened in the past. Did she know? Did the same thing happen before? Okay, what's nausea? Well, I guess nausea is kind of like why. It's like then that is because we're repeating the same event over and over. It's like because we're in a never 7 situation. Except we're not doing never 7, but we are. I see. Well, Sue's gonna smack me. Tsugumi and I are in a time loop. It's time sweep. Time sweep? Okay, well, both the machine translators are saying travel back in time.
タイムスリップ
Oh, time slip. Tsugumi's like, but you're like different though. Takeshi's different. You are different. Coco is not Coco. He's different. The only one who looks the same as you. I'm suddenly excited by this, I guess, wrong kanji, conclusion that I reached. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure it's true. Tsugumi's gonna be like, get out of here. I am also the same. What? It's the same for me too. I can predict the future too. But realize that it's dangerous inside the burning. Also realize that it's dangerous inside the burning generator room. They're really never setting this thing up, aren't they? That's not because you can predict the future. That's because you can see infrared. I had a hunch that the explosion would happen. And thought it would cause you to get injured, but whatever. Then, when I met Sarah, I felt like something similar had happened before. What? So he's looking at me like, this guy. I think I've probably experienced something similar in the past. Tsugumi was staring blankly at me. She's clearly shaken up. Hey, tell me something about it. When Tsugumi snapped back to her senses, her eyes immediately changed color. I guess that's an expression. Her eyes are still purple to me.
あなたに話を？冗談でしょ？
Talk to you? Are you kidding me?
あなたが奴らの仲間かもしれない以上、あなたに手の内を明かすようなことなんてできないわね。
You might be one of them. I can't reveal my hand to you. It's like I've been rejected by a comrade I've finally found. I'm intensely disappointed.
いいこと？前にも言ったけど、これ以上奴らには関わらない方が身のためよ。
Good? Like I said before, it's for your own good not to get involved with them anymore.
もちろん、私にも。
Of course. Also me. But, yeah, he's referring to how, like, she came with the invitation, right? So that way she kind of got involved with them. Why?
あなたやけに理由にこだわるのね。理由なんてどうでもいいの。
You're awfully fixated on the reason, aren't you? The reason doesn't matter. How could a reason not ever not matter? Crossing her arms, she says intimidatingly.
でも、あえて理由があるとしたら、それがあなた自身にとって最もいい結果をもたらすからよ。
But if there is a reason, it is because it's the best outcome for you, which is vague.
例えば、
For example,
あなたの記憶喪失だって、奴らの仕業かもしれないのよ。
why is she saying anata? Because, like, she's just like a put down? Or is she saying that because there's a time when she didn't really speak Japanese very well? And then, so she kind of talks like a foreigner, but then, and then she got in the habit of it and won't change? It doesn't make any sense because I presume that she still grew up in Japan like the first part of her life before she went to high school. Or middle school or whatever. Like, she's not like an elementary school in Japan. Maybe your amnesia was their doing. It wasn't a really... I mean, technically, you just wouldn't know how they did it. Eh? Well, if he didn't remember his amnesia, how do we know that would... My heart skipped a beat. I mean, maybe that's a reasonable conclusion from Tsugumi's part. If I were Tsugumi, I would think that it was like guaranteed to be the case. But I think it would be like drugs or some drugs or something. Like it wouldn't. I would like be able to guess how it was done. At what she said, my heart was gripped tightly. That's... So nah, I will be able to tell what it means now. I hadn't thought about that until now. As I was kind of stunned, right? Like, it's wolf followed by another kanji. So it's some sort of something to do with wolf. Like expression a wolf would make. There's some sort of like picturesqueness there. But the kanji a second kanji got misread, so it said wolf instead of wolf, the second animal. Maybe it's supposed to be like wolf cat or wolf other animal. Two animals stuck together. Anyway, while I was like deer in the headlights, Tsugumi spun around and turned to leave. I don't have the energy left to chase after her.
ああ、そうだ。それともう一つ。
Ah, that's right. One more thing.
おしゃべりついでに、私もその未来予知とやらをしてあげましょうか。
While we're chatting, shall I give you this so-called foresight, give you another prediction of the future? Oh yeah, this line, which doesn't make any sense. Yeah, my 10-hour-long video I made at the end of the original playlist. Say, what does she mean by this? Because it doesn't, like, pay off. This, like, is a Chekhov's gun that does not fire. I slowly lose my head and looked at Tsugumi. She looked unusually serious. Tsugumi's prediction.
このまま奴らに利用され続ければ。
If they keep using you like this, because I know from the original translation it's you.
7日に。
Nanakani. On the 7th, which is the 7th day because it began on the 1st of the month.
あなたは死ぬの。
You will die. Yeah, you will die. I actually know what that means. I can actually read that. Anata wa shime no. I say shinu no. Yes. No, is it nu? No, it's... No, it's me. Yeah. Shime no. It's the she. It's that kanji. The meal, right? Yeah, the meal was a tuna sandwich made by Takeshi. Yes, tuna sandwiches again. Tuna sandwiches popped up because I didn't know what to write. As I put the tuna sandwich in my mouth, I was lost in thought. Saying, finally got tuna sandwiches! That were made by Takeshi! And to get to the kid's side first. Tsugumi's parting words still haven't left my heart. Well, what the hell was that supposed to mean? Yeah, I don't know either, kid. I played the real original game, I still don't know. I mean, you don't have to get the bad ending. Does that mean that we won't be able to escape here in the end? Well, I mean, Tsugumi did. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why, like, if you go, she would go off a timeline where she would think that he will die. Weird. Does that mean we won't be able to get out of here? Well, Tsugumi certainly did because she's here. Like, she went through this in the past and is there. I mean, well, Tsugumi's prediction is correct. Will everybody be saved? Only on this condition that you keep going along with whoever you're working with. And not her, I guess. I don't know how you would, like, indicate you're switching sides. And what about the guy, the they, that Tsugumi was talking about? I wonder who they are. I absentmindedly survey the room. Tsugumi wasn't here, but everyone else's faces were here. Sara's expression had vanished, and now she was smiling with you. Oh, we're gonna start sussing out people here. Sara was suspicious of Tsugumi. Tsugumi of Sara, not as much, but Sara of Tsugumi, yes. It's kind of backwards, isn't it? I wonder if Sara knows something. Oh, but I chose the wrong route. Oh, dang it.
少年、いっぱい作ったから好きなだけ食べていいぞ。
I made a lot, so you can eat as much as you want, kid. Takeshi spoke to me.
どうした少年、元気がないぞ。
What's wrong, boy? You look down. But while I was lost in thought, I just kept replying half-heartedly.
それじゃあ夕食後、改めてスーパーメクリンチョでもやるか。
Can I distract you with bologna? Well then, how about we do super memory again after dinner? Really milking super memory here. Well, oh, it didn't goes to the translator. After dinner, for some reason, I played cards with Takeshi and the others and flipped through super memory. In the end, Takeshi lost... What? In the end, Takeshi was the only one to lose. Man, they really like to pick on Takeshi. It's like picking on Takeshi in some way when it's Kaguraki, because Kaguraki's trying to pretend to be Takeshi. So if he like intentionally fumbles stuff, that's like a way of picking on Takeshi, isn't it? That night, that he's doing. That night, I couldn't get Tsugumi's prediction out of my head, and I couldn't sleep well. Yeah, my best guess for what Tsugumi was trying to do there was she was just trying to manipulate him. Like, it wasn't a statement of fact. It was more like, I'm going to mess with this guy to get what I want out of him. We're going to get up, we're going to go find Tsugumi. When I got out of bed, I couldn't see anyone other than Takeshi, who was snoring carefreely. Oh, Yu is also gone. That's interesting. So maybe Yu and Sara are in the control room trying to get in. I wonder if everyone can't sleep. We're going to do that scene where we hack in. Humans get depressed when they sit still. Well, I do, but I don't know if I represent all humans. I recalled Takeshi's words earlier. I actually don't get depressed when I sit still. It's kind of weird. Anyway, but it does not how it works. I don't know. You're right, Takeshi. I don't know about that. Now that I said that, I don't know. I murmured to the sleeping Takeshi and got out of bed. Or they're pretending to sleep, Takeshi. Doing some sort of, has like a fake soaring sound thing he puts under his bed. I gave up on sleeping forcibly and decided to wander around. So know anything about sleep, right? You can't force yourself to sleep. You have to let yourself sleep. If your body doesn't want to sleep, it just doesn't. Now then, where should we go? Not put the bottom on there. Just to give me a choice? 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 Without deciding on a destination, I wandered around until I came to the control room. I guess we don't get a choice. Okay, so we're gonna have Sarah and you trying to hack in. Or just you. Are you gonna solve the password now? I casually stepped inside. I saw you heading to the terminal. Kata. B. Oh, she's guessing passwords? Okay. You're still at it until now?
こんな時間って。
This time of day. You brought her face close to the small clock displayed at the bottom of the monitor and narrowed her eyes. And?
もうお手上げかな。
I guess I'm out of options. You muttered and hung her head. The back of the chair creaks. Oh, no, I don't want to dither it. Oh. Oh, well. Oh, looks fine on this end. I wonder why. Okay. Inaccessible username or password is incorrect. Not will be transferred is incorrect. Okay. The message, which seems to have been displayed many times, is still in the center of the screen. She's still stuck in front of the front door, and she can't go any further. You was completely dejected. So you really don't know the password? Do you have any ideas? When you set a password, you usually use words that have a deep connection to that person, you know? Well, I don't know about that. Nowadays, it's more like you just put random stuff. But I actually put words in my password because I have to try to, like, be able to type them in. And I don't use a password manager because then when I lose my password to my password manager, I lose all of them. I also hate those things. And they can breach. If it's a short one, it's a birthday or a phone number. Even if it's someone you absolutely don't want other people to one you absolutely don't want other people to know, you should use a phrase or something related to that person's memories or past. Right, the past phrase. I don't know why the kid knows all this, but okay. In other words, there aren't many people who use random combinations of alphabets until 2024, when you have autofills and password managers and nonsense, which I don't use. I mean, if you do that, I'm sure you'll forget. Yeah, and people forget, and it's a disaster. You have to call tech support. If you forget, there's no point in using a password.
もちろん、思いつくフレーズは一通り試してみたよ。
Of course, I've tried all the phrases I can think of.
逆から読んだり、アナグラムにしたり、可能性のあるパターンを組み合わせてみたり。
So, except my own name, but whatever. I read it from the other side, made an anagram, tried combining possible patterns.
でも無理でした。
But it's impossible.
私はただのパソコンが使えるだけの人なのよね。
Could say, at least in like Japanese, you don't have capital letters and stuff, but you could instead, like, and you really don't, because if you said, okay, well, just write in katakana instead, yeah, but the keystrokes are the same. So, I don't know if a password would matter in that way. In fact, if you put a capital letter, it would make it so it's hard to tell what katakana or hiragana to put. Say they do have capital letters. I don't know, what am I saying? It's just someone who can, I'm just someone who can use a computer. Or can you? I guess that's correct.
ハッカーやクラッカーじゃないんだから、イリーガルなプログラムを持ってたり、ましてやこの場で作ったり、そんなことはできないの。
I'm not an 8 car or cracker, an 8 car. Oh, a hacker or a cracker, I think. So I can't have an illegal program. Let's make it here. Well, I mean, we could get Sarah on the case, but the thing is, you gotta solve the password first. That's part of this game. Saying that you raised your hands and took the... You raised both hands and made a gesture of giving up.
これが解読できればな。
If only I could decipher this. Oh yeah. Yeah, obviously the password's still not gonna work after we decipher it, and then the reason why it works is you has the wrong username, but instead of like figuring out what the correct username is, we just have Sarah crack into it. So here's what happens. Saying that you picked up a piece of paper from the console. Although she somehow eventually does figure out what the correct username is. What is that?
お母さんのマシンの中に入ってたの。
It was inside my mother's machine.
私はここに来る前、見学って名目で一度お母さんの研究室に行ったことがあるの。
Oh, I hit print and it printed funny. Before I came here, I went to my mom's lab once under the pretense of a tour.
もちろん、失踪した父親の手がかりを探すためだけどね。
In order to find clues about my missing father, of course.
部屋に入ると、パソコンの電源が入れっぱなしだったの。
When I entered the room, the computer was left on.
中を覗くとご丁寧にパスワードとタイトルの付けられたテキストファイルがあってね。
Yeah, this is intentional. When I looked inside, there was a text file with the title password in it. It was placed in a very conspicuous location.
開いてみるとたった1行。何やら日本語のセンテンスが書き込まれていたの。
When I opened it, there was just some line with some kind of Japanese sentence written on it. Then you have seen the password.
うん。確かに見た。
But I didn't have time to read it, so I just went Control P. Yeah, I definitely saw it.
でも、見ただけであって覚えてはいないの。
Has any of you done that thing where you're writing code and you have to write a capital P, or you decide to use you have it to have like a variable name with a capital P in it, and then a new line right after. And you don't put a semicolon at the end for some reason, or you're going to do it later. And instead of hitting Shift P enter, you accidentally hit Control P and then enter, and it prints your code. I have done that. I've accidentally printed my code.
急いでたのよ。
I was in a hurry.
誰かに見つかる前に私は慌ててメモを取ろうとした。けれど筆記用具が周辺には見当たらなかったの。
I hurriedly tried to take notes before anyone found me, but I couldn't find any writing utensils around.
記憶媒体となるようなディスクもメモリーカードとかも転がってなかったし。
There wasn't any disks or memory cards lying around that could serve as storage media.
今考えてみれば自分の携帯のメモリーカードを使うとかメールで送ればよかったなとか思うけど。
More verbose about this. The original just said, so I printed it. Now that I think about it, I think I should have used my phone's memory card, or I should have texted it.
その時は焦っていたのよね。とっさにプリントアウトすることしか思いつかなかったのよね。
I was impatient at the time. All I could think of was to print it out right away. And she set her computer up in a specific way to make it print stretched. Then that paper is the one that was printed out?
なんだけど。
But you held out the paper. This is much easier, by the way, if you can actually read this Japanese. Especially the kanji, because these are kanji. What is this? Pakodo? Oh, a barcode.
に見えるけど普通のバーコードの規格とは違うみたいだし。
It looks like it, but it doesn't seem like the standard or normal barcodes. There are 10 lines, right? I guess I'm not going to count them.
あるのよ。
It's like, you got it. Oh, yes, there is. Okay, well, I'll trust that there are 10 lines. Okay, well, look at the bottom row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, well... Oh, they mean like top down. Okay, yeah, there are 10 rows. What does this have to do with anything?
さあ。
Yeah, just kind of printed wrong. I don't know. That's right. How many characters was that password? Didn't you say it was in Japanese? How many characters of Japanese?
よく覚えてないけど10文字プラスマイナス1文字くらいじゃないかな。
It was about, I don't really remember, but maybe about 10 characters plus or minus 1. Were there any kanji in it? Any numbers?
確か漢字とひらがなの組み合わせだったと思う。数字やカタカナやアルファベットはなかったはず。
I think there's a combination of kanji and hiragana. There are no numbers, katakana, or Roman characters. That is, there are no Arabic numerals, katakana, or Roman characters. Hey, I wonder who's better at this. Or I wonder who's good at this.
さあ。
I don't know. Or is it written vertically? No, it can't be. Come on, just let me solve the puzzle. Don't string this out. Why did something that's just printed out, that just printing out a text file become a barcode?
さあ。
Because someone set it up that way in some diabolical manner. Any hints?
ヒント？
Hints?
答えがわからないのにヒントなんかあるわけないでしょ？
It's just a printer. How would I think there would be a hint? No way is a hint if you don't know the answer. Life doesn't come with a hint in the upper right. What do I do now? Hint. But you remember something, don't you? For example, it had something to do with food or had a person's name in it. You shook her head as she spoke.
見たって言ってもほんの数秒のことなのよ。
Even if you say I saw it, it was only for a few seconds.
だから読んで認識したわけじゃないの。見ただけだから。
And I didn't go, oh, I need to read this. I thought, oh, I need to write this down. And I can't find anything to write with, right? That's why I didn't read it and recognize it. I just saw it. Which is one of those things with Japanese, right? Because all the characters are the same height. If it was something written in English and I just saw it, I would immediately, like, get a bunch of it. Like, in an instant. But... it's hard to read nothing, right? It's true that it's hard to remember something you've only seen. In Japanese, maybe. Especially in Korean. You look at a big block of Korean and like, what? Like, I have no idea what any of this is. Even if I technically would have thought I would have known some Korean. It's just because it's all, the words don't have any shape. And there isn't really a change of density either. Right, with kanji and hiragana, the kanji are denser than the hiragana, so you start to see a structure immediately pop out at you. If it's Korean, the density is the same, and the size and the shape is the same. So there isn't anything that really pops. And you have to put a lot of effort into looking into it closely to read it. But when you have Roman characters, because you have up stems and down stems and things like that, words tend to have a shape. And so they tend to pop at you, and you get to what they are without trying. Because it won't remain as a memory, because it won't be recorded. It's only recorded after acknowledging it. That thought silly popped into my head. I took another look at the paper that looked like it had a password written on it. I'll solve this riddle no matter what. That's the spirit. What if you can't? I was frustrated. I don't have any memories. But at least I could do this. No, I have memories, but they are hidden. Just like use father's information. Kinda, not really. Maybe that's why. That's why I wanted to solve that riddle no matter what. Come on, give me it. What should I do? Okay. Okay, Wakata is I understand. Wakata Ranai is I don't understand. So, we're going to pick I understand was the top choice. Something flashes in my head. Could it be? Okay, this is going to be the tricky part to translate. Flip it over. Nope, that's wrong. I mean, just white on the back. And then the original. Flip it upside down. Nope. Wait, why is the kanji? Try using fire. Why would you think like deciphering how something printed out wrong would involve fire? This is not the Declaration of Independence or something. Next one. Next one just means more, right? So let's just do more options. Okay. And Mae is previous, right? Okay. Oh, I made an infinite loop out of this choice mechanic. Fold it up. Tilt it. Roll it up. Okay, so if you don't know, the answer is actually tilted. It's hard to tell if that's the answer beforehand if you don't know Japanese very well. Like, yes, you go, well, don't you know some Japanese characters? Yes, but you have to know them well, and these are kanji. So... if you tilt the paper, I might be able to read something. Okay, then we have to do various kinds of tilts. So... tilt, I'll lean a little towards... oh. So I know it's a lot. We have to actually tilt it a lot. So giri. But we have to end horizontally. Bit in the sandalwood. Okay, well, can we get this kanji? We need the kanji. Okay, let me go to translate. Google Translate. Say horizontal. Vertical. None of these give me either of those. Long way. Rotate vertical. On a vertical axis. Horizontal axis. Tilt up and down. Tilt vertically. Okay. I'm not getting it. Let me try dithering the OCR. Last resort, I can always just save and redo. Let's try this kanji. Translate moe. Getting crazy here. Anything but the right answer. It's like, this is the puzzle I have to solve. No? Great, okay, let's try to mess around with trying to get this kanji. Side to side. Okay. Well, we're gonna do a save. Whoops. And then my guess is I want this one. Based on I chose the wrong one. Okay. I could be curious about what happens if you get it wrong, but I'm not. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got it. Look, if you put the paper to sleep like this, because we still can't get those kanji right. If I lay the paper down like this, what's going on? What? What's this?
ちょっと貸して。
Let me borrow that for a second. I love how it stalls. You forcibly snatched the paper from my hand. After that, she imitated me and laid the paper down on the side to look at it.
本当だ。
Oh, you're right.
すごいよ少年。
Something like amazing, kind of, kid. You grabs my hand and starts frolicking. Okay, so don't do that one joke. That running gag from the original that was cheesy. Whoops. It didn't stop there. She embraced me and squeezed me tightly. Moog. You pressed her. You can read it. It's in the video. You know, that's correct. I guess if you're blind and just listening to the audio, that would be bad, but. I can't fit right in there, and thanks to that, I can't breathe. Or does that mean you do fit? Gig. Suffocation. Asphyxiation. That's unfortunate. What? trying to figure out which kanji is wrong. And I can't. So the so the OCR is recognizing this all correctly as far as I can tell. Google Translate gives a very similar line to the to what the machine translator says, the offline translator says, and the offending word that starts with the C is in both of the translations. The main difference is Google Translate says curves instead of breasts. That's really the only difference. Weird. I thought it was mistranslated. It would be like he died or something, which may make sense. So, this came up in the Let's Play of was it Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. The idea that sometimes this even happens in English, but happens a lot potentially in Japanese. To die is like a euphemism for what that just said, right? So what it could be doing is it could be, instead of translating it more literally, translating it more euphemistically. However, the kanji, the shi, right? That kanji shi that we saw when Tsugumi said, on the seventh day you will die, isn't actually in the line of text, and the kanji for to go, right? That key, that's not in there either. So I don't know how to interpret this. I would have thought it would be like what they meant to do is say, he said, I almost went, or almost died, and then the translators are euphemizing it. I'm not sure. But you can't read that in the line, so. There's some funny thing in Danganronpa V3 about that as well. That you'd go instantly, if you remember that line. Or you die instantly. Yeah. You finally let me go. She's jumping around the area. I just went to the next line. I didn't care about whatever that line was for some reason. So that was funny. Let's go to the next line. Still, she's glad. She's happy. Okay. And the password won't work. But we'll get there. Just looking at you like that was enough.
そうか、真上から見てたからいけなかったんだ。
Yeah, it's mostly kanji. You have a no, you have a ni, and we have a shi. The others I don't really know very well. I don't really know. This one means time. So if you have it by itself, use it for say o'clock. It's typically pronounced shi as well. You also find it in the pair of kanji it's used to write the word hour. So it's used to represent time often. This one here, if you can see my cursor, which I presume you can, that's the one that makes up Sora's name. It can mean something like heaven or sky, or oddly, it can also mean empty in some contexts, it appears. And then this one here means either moon or month. So use it for months. And you also use it, I think, to write the moon. Like the object that orbits the Earth. Also, the second day of the week, Monday, you write with that, and you call it Getsu Yobi, where the word for month is Gatsu. It just abbreviates to Getsu when you say days of the week because they're too lazy to say Gatsu, right? Just like all of our English days of the week are abbreviated, right? Because what is it in English? It's either, I don't know which, moon day or month day. And I have a feeling it's actually both. That moon and month were probably the same word in older English versions of English. I haven't confirmed that. Don't quote me on that, but I would think they probably were. It's probably some word like month. And they got split up because they got like abbreviated differently. And so you can probably originate Monday to either one. But that's what Monday means. It's, like Sunday is the sun day, which it is also that in Japanese. You say ichi for sun, ichiyobi, and then Monday is the moon day. It's the same thing in Japanese. It's getsu, which means moon, kind of yobi. It gets kind of off from there, but whatever. I don't know what Tuesday and Wednesday are. Thursday is Thursday. I also don't know what Saturday is. I remember Saturday is the Jewish Sabbath, but I don't think that's where the sat comes from. It comes from something else, which makes things more complicated. Anyway, so that is moon or month, that is sky or heaven, and that is time. The other ones, I don't know. I see this one kind of often, but I don't know what it is. I just see it. I see this one often too, at the end, but I don't actually, in these games and stuff, but I don't know what it is as well. No, this hiragana here, this is pronounced no, and it typically means possessive or like belonging to. So this is belonging to that. So it's like a sky of whatever month this is. Ni is this hiragana, and when it's used as a particle, it could either mean like the destination, so where you are going. It can also, I think, kind of serve in a way like how you would think of the place where an action happens. But you have to be careful because sometimes day is used for that. So, I don't know. But it is reliably like the place you're going to. You're going, ni means you're going to that. And then she as a particle, I don't know. I think it's actually part of this word. I don't think she can be used as a particle.
横から見れば、なるほど。
From the side, I see. But why did it end up like that?
プリンターの調子が悪かったんじゃない？
The printer stretched it. Maybe the printer was in bad shape. I wonder if that's enough to make it look like this.
いいのよ、そんなことはもうどうでも。
I don't care about that anymore.
とにかくパスワードが分かればそれでいいんだから。
Anyway, as long as I know the password, that's all I need. Okay. So this is what it says written out, like, let's see if the translator will deal with it. No, it can't. Looks like I got it right. So the first one is actually like, oh, okay. It's close to the kanji for mom, but it may not be exactly. Autumn coolness in the void of the jellyfish. It's correct though. We're gonna put it into a notepad file. Or just Oh. Something to note is this might be a rarer kanji because it doesn't have a can't code that in whatever char set my text editor is encoding with. It like doesn't understand it.
多分これは正岡式の俳句水月の虚空に涼しホトトギスをもじったものだと思う。
I think it's probably a play on the haiku, on Shiki Masaoki's haiku, and then we have the haiku, which let's try to isolate it. It's hard to translate it because it's a haiku, right? It's like 575, but cool bird in the empty sky of Minazuki, because it doesn't, it's like hard to translate haikus. Whatever.
だから正しい読み方はおそらく
So the correct way to read it is probably
海月の虚空に涼しホトトギス。
okay, well, that's just how to pronounce it. So turning that to a translator probably wouldn't make a lot of sense. But we're going to do it anyway, because why not? Cool. So, umitsuki no koku, which just makes a long but I guess that counts for like haikus. Like if you can make 7 syllables out of ku. So, koku ni suzushi hototogisu. He.
よし、それじゃあこのフレーズを試してみるよ。
Well, let's try this phrase. Yu heads to the keyboard in high spirits. Excuse me. I'm supposed to say like bless you or something, but I can say bless you to myself. And it's like I messed things up by doing a sneeze. It's my fault.
海月の虚空に涼しホトトギスっと。
Okay, so she's like typing it in, right? She's like, Ukatsuki no koku ni suzushi hototo gisu do. And I guess that's like the click noise, kata. Then the password input screen disappeared. It's gone. Wait, it worked? Yay. Or does it say wrong username? I've had that happen where I put like, gives me the wrong... I don't know how many systems will actually tell you if they're the wrong username if you put a password that's in the hash table, but then like your username is like wrong, it doesn't match. I don't know. I think they usually would say like wrong password if it usually says wrong username or password regardless of which one's wrong. You and I took my hand, I guess, and rejoiced. Oh, you and I held hands and rejoiced. Daga. That over there, which is like RA. Oh, no, that's... Oh. Huh?
あれれ
Huh? Double huh? A new password input screen appears on the monitor screen. New second password. What's this?
二重の関門ってわけ
It's a double barrier? I think the original was the wrong username or something. It's like, it just didn't work. It just basically just said password incorrect. They like, it was like, she's like, oh, we got it. And it's like, oh, no, that's wrong too. Okay, well, out of ideas now. You and I stared at each other, smiled vacantly. They decided to change it to be more of a happy ending, I guess. More laughing. And then her hollow laughter returned into a deep sigh.
もう今日は寝よっか。
Well, shall we sleep today? You're right.
でもようやくこれで玄関の前まではたどり着けたみたいね。少年、ありがとね。
But it looks like we finally made it in the front door. Thanks to the boy. We just have to get through the the second front door. We got through the storm door, now we gotta go through, like, the inner door. You smiled at me, she said that. I smiled and nodded. Yoiki, it seems we've been lying in front of the gate until now. And now we got to win one barrier. And now I and the others are finally standing in the front entrance. Just a little more. There's no hint of a password, but... But I feel like I still haven't solved the riddle of that password. Right, it has something to do with names. I haven't either because I don't remember how it goes, so we haven't actually translated the haiku yet. I presume it's the same as the original, though. If we go back and find it in the original. Why did Yu's mother choose this haiku? Oh, we have to get a relate to how haikus are 17 syllables long. I didn't notice that before. 575. What is the meaning? What meaning is hidden in these 17 syllables? It seems like there was a continuation of the password in that mystery. Okay, we're going to go on to day 4, right? I can only see darkness in the darkness. Why'd you have to make it more complicated? It's danger, right? It's like inside of the darkness, only darkness. We can make it more lean. And a flash of light. Okay. What happens if you have 3 cars stacked? And a thunderous roar. Okay. So we saw Tsugumi get injured, but then we see Sara in a pod of some sort. It looks kind of like an EI elevator, but it doesn't look like a treatment pod because it's too big. What kind of foreshadowing is this? All dissonance. The raging torrent. I've already run out of options. You're seeing the bad ending? At the end, despair. An ending of despair. Well, we were allowed to go into the kid's route before seeing this. So I guess if you didn't, this would be like some sort of foreshadowing of the bad ending you didn't see. The end of suffering. Yes, he was correct. If something goes clear, you change. Does that CG of Sarah now appear in my CG gallery? I don't know. In the darkness that seemed to swallow up all light, everything stood still. However, the darkness leaks out, overflows, fills me. Drowning into darkness. Yeah. Oh, it's just... Let's try to get the better grasp. Okay, we're doing something into the darkness, but it's whatever that kanji is, which is hard to grab. Oh, sinking into the darkness. Okay. Into the darkness. Darkness ni. What's darkness? Kuroi is black. Darkness is a similar word to kuro, but it's not exactly kuro. It's also similar sounding to kawa or kawai, because kawai is scary. It's like karu or something. Forget how to pronounce it. Anyway, know the kanji though. I suddenly wake up. At that moment, my consciousness was already awake.
Ah!
Takeshi goes, I'm gonna hyptic jerk. That's when Takeshi's voice broke the silence. Well, you don't have Coco waking him up, so what's going on here? I turned my gaze to Takeshi.
どうしました倉成さん。
This is so weird. Because, so, what Sora would wake up Takeshi to do would be to tell him that Tsugumi had woken up, right? But Tsugumi isn't asleep. So what news would Sora bring? I guess she's just kind of doing what she would do in her route without that.
いや、目を閉じていたのに急に空が目の前に現れたからびっくりしたんだ。
No, I had my eyes closed, but I was surprised when Sora suddenly appeared. So I was surprised when Sora suddenly appeared in front of me. Okay, so that situation.
変ですね。ミラージュは対象者の瞳が閉じられた時は自動的に停止するはずなんですが。
We're successfully maintaining the continuity of the exact opposite thing of the original game, where Mirage bypasses your eyelids. So it's not when you close your eyes, I disappear. I can actually appear even when your eyes are closed. It's strange, isn't it? Mirage is supposed to automatically act high and mighty when the target's eyes are closed. Act high and mighty. I know what this means for the other branch, right? It means it's supposed to refrain. What's your Google Translate says? Yeah, Mirage should automatically stop when the target's eyes are closed.
どこかにバグが出たのかもしれません。後で不具合をチェックしてみますね。
But why'd you try to do it, Sora? Maybe there's a bug somewhere. I'll check the glitch later. Sora was standing in front of Takeshi's bed. Takeshi seems to be having a conversation with Sora. Well, I wonder what they're talking about, even though I just heard it. I mean, you can see her. If you can see her, why can't you hear her? I couldn't really hear the conversation from here. Oh, except it just gives you the voice, gives you the player the lines. As I stared at the two of them, Takeshi suddenly got out of bed and hurried out of the room. It's so funny because it's like, you would know why he would hurry out of the room, right? She told him that Tsugumi had woken up. He's like, I want to go see Tsugumi. But, like, that's not what she could have told him. So why did he just hurry out of the room? And the answer would be, well, maybe he's like, I have to do exactly the same thing as Takeshi did in 2017. So I gotta imitate it. I saw him dash out of the room, so I gotta dash out of the room too in the morning of day 4. The game's kind of putting a lampshade over it. They're just like, we're gonna skip the part where she gives the news she's gonna give by having the kid's internal monologue and then just have him react the same way. I wonder where Takeshi went. I do too, actually. I presume it's gonna, like, my best guess would be the virtual aquarium. I was worried about Takeshi, but I shifted my gaze to the ceiling again. What was that scene just now? Yeah, I have the same question. It was a scene I didn't know about. Or you did? Was it a dream? Or foresight? In that case, where did that scene come from? From the future or from the past? Okay. Zukiri, which I presume is like some sort of onomatopoeia for getting a headache. A sharp pain runs through my head. I'm drowning in the darkness. It's hard to breathe. Remember that kanji means drowning. Two kind of S-shaped things. Breakfast was a tuna sandwich made by Takeshi. We got tuna sandwiches again, apparently. Just like last night's dinner. The writers just ran out of ideas and decided to revert to tuna sandwiches, even though they tried to completely avoid them in the Takeshi side, until we got to the party. Seems like Takeshi woke up early and made it. As I chewed on the tuna sandwich, I thought about the meaning of the password, just like yesterday. Yeah, it's not helping me, game. And I'm repeating the phrase over and over as I say it in my mind. Oh, I hit translate again. It doesn't matter how many times you write on the screen, it doesn't help me. Suddenly, a warm yet heart-trending emotion wells up. Or heart-rending emotion. I felt like I could see some kind of image. But that image escapes my consciousness, bursting into bubbles and vanishing. I can't help but sigh. Oh, it's you. I heard a similar sigh. are going to recruit Sara now to crack the computer. I looked over to see you sighing too. Noticing this, Sara called out to you. Now we have to go down to Dritte stock at some point, right? But for some reason, I think Sora has given up on that. And then we have the air supply fail, right? We start running out of oxygen, and Sora's like, okay, we need to do something to get down to Dritte stock now. So we'll wait for that to happen. Noticing this, Sara called out to you.
元気ないですね。どうしたんですか?
You look down. What's wrong?
普段なら4つも5つもペロリのナーケ先輩がまだ竜田サンド2つしか食べてないじゃないですか。
Naki Senpai normally eats 4 or 5 tuna sandwiches. But this time has only eaten 2. Is that what I'm supposed to get at from this? And then we need to get rid of this. Usually Naki Senpai can eat 4 or 5 in one go, but you've only eaten 2 tuna sandwiches so far.
ちょっとね。
Just a little.
大丈夫です。どんなことがあっても先輩だけは私の力でレミューから助けてみせますから。
Don't worry, no matter what happens, Senpai will use my power to save you from Lamu. Oh, Senpai, I will use my power to save you from Lamu.
いや、そっちじゃないんだけどね。
You don't really want to be saved from Lamu, though. No, it's not that way.
え?
Eh?
そうね。ひょっとしてマヨだったら。
Yeah, if it's Mayo. What? Well, maybe if it was Mayo.
でもいいか。個人的な問題だし。
But it's okay. It's a personal dark matter.
そんな、私と先輩の仲じゃないですか。悩みがあったら何でも言ってください。力になりますから。
It's like, it's a personal dark matter. You see, I think of myself as a wimp. Senpai and I are close, aren't we? If there's anything bothering you, please tell me. I'll get mad. Probably I'll get mad otherwise.
そうね。いざとなったらお願いするわね。ありがとう、マヨ。
Yeah, if it comes down to it, I'll be counting on you. Thanks, Mayo.
さて、そうと決めたら食べるぞ。
Now that we've decided, let's eat. Saying that, you stuff your cheeks with tuna sandwiches.
ねえねえ少年。
Hey, kid. Oh man, that voice is bad. It's like the worst voice line. Ooh. It's so nasal. The voice actor pinched his nose while saying the voice lines. That's when Takeshi spoke to me. Eh?
美味しかったか?
Did it taste good? Oh, this. What?
ああ、いや、その竜田サンドなんだけどな。
Well, what about the tuna sandwich? Like, not only is it sometimes nasal, but sometimes has a type thing, which is really bad for your voice, by the way. Oh man. Ugh. So yeah, it's like constantly clearing his throat in his talking. Like, no. Well, what about the tuna sandwich? And with that, we'll end things. talk about the tuna sandwich later. Okay. Nothing new.